Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
Shut up!
We're gonna get you. Not another peep. Kinda
Get rid of your distractions and prepare yourself.
Fold and lock your door. 5, 6, and crucifix.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
All right, welcome everybody to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Danny Bonin here with you.
Welcome back, guys. Scotty Bonin here, too.
And we have Rob O'Neill back on the show with us.
Corey
Rob.
Feldman is a tranny. Put it out there for everybody.
Corey Feldman is a tranny. And you guys will understand that better if you watch the documentary, what the hell is it called again?
Crystal Lake
Memories. Yes.
Spray tan, bedazzled shirt, and everything. Yes.
I was completely enthralled when I saw it. I just kept rewinding it back and forth.
He looks like he's, probably in his 30s, but he's trying to make himself look like he's 12.
Oh, yeah. He's got to be at least 38 or 40, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how old Corey Feldman would be.
I don't know. But funny about like the ages, I just saw on Facebook like the oldest Hanson brother is 33.
Whoa!
Wow. That makes...
So I assume Corey Feldman has got to be in his close to 40s.
Yeah, he has to.
He has to be. He totally has to be.
But yeah, he's the scariest part of that documentary.
Yeah, he is.
It took me back immediately.
We love you, Corey. You probably won't ever listen to this.
Never.
But just wanted to put that out there.
I want to put a disclaimer out before we get into this that we're now putting the shows up on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see me and Scotty in our webcam here. Sharing a microphone. If you're listening, you'll hear that Rob's audio is better than our shit audio because we don't have the right adapters to all get our own microphones when we're recording via Skype because Rob's fucking down in Florida.
That's
Oh,
right.
Brent, come down to Florida. It's an easy fix. I even got a pool for y'all now.
I know.
Y'all
Right.
come
I
on
saw
down and
that.
kick it at the pool.
Every time we want you on the show, we'll just come down to Florida and
We'll
record
fly
it.
down and we can all just record in your studio there.
It sounds like a plan. I don't think I could do Colorado. It was like 46 degrees this morning. And I thought I had frostbite.
Yeah, no. It's actually warm here today. It's in
Yeah.
the 70s or something.
It's beautiful here today.
Yeah.
You'd
I
love
had
it.
I had the furnace running the last 2 days in my house. It's been absolutely incredible.
Wow, that's like warm for us here.
Well, I mean, I know that we went a record like almost 2 hours last time you were on the show, so I might just have to. Maybe we should just jump into shit right now, unless you have any comments, Rob, before we jump into this.
Okay, one, the Corey Feldman's a tranny.
Yes.
2, I've picked up stripping again because I've had to buy all this recording equipment so I can hang out with y'all. And 3, you can follow me on Instagram at the Rob O'Neill for bookings.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
You do bachelorette parties?
Bachelor parties.
Oh, bachelor. Okay.
I'm waiting for Scotty's.
Bachelor party. Yeah, that's mine's coming up here at the end of the year.
Yeah,
man,
I'm
so,
gonna have to get my booking. How far out are you booked?
Oh man, I can squeeze y'all in. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Literally squeeze him in?
Can you squeeze me in, or maybe I'll squeeze into you? No, wait, that was bad.
All right.
Look, it's 25 to look at. It's 30 to touch. Okay, that's all I'm gonna put out there.
Okay, all right.
That seems fair.
That's very affordable. Yeah, very affordable.
All right. Well, so we're back here. We're talking about Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, and Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. But of course, we're going to start with Part 7, The New Blood.
Yeah, going in order like we usually do.
Yeah. So, we usually go through this. We go sort of in order, and then Rob throws in his comments. And but before we start going in order with some behind-the-scenes stuff, There was just a few side notes I had while just watching the movie that I had to get out in front here. So that are a little ridiculous. Scotty might have a couple too.
Yes, I do.
And you can comment on these, Rob.
Oh, I'm like laying in wait. I've got tons of like, pseudo homosexual jokes.
Oh, sweet. That's what we want on this podcast.
Oh yeah, of course.
So
This was in 1988, so we're still in the 80s here, guys.
yeah. Oh, definitely.
Part 7.
So the first little side note when I'm watching the movie that distracted me, I just pick out things that distract me while I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, why the fuck did they do that? Was, they're the kids across the way in the cabin are partying. They're about to throw a surprise party, and of course the dude never shows up. But the black guy and girl couple are there. In the morning, she comes down and she's like, the guy's like, "Where's my coffee?" And she's like, "Where do you want it?" And she gets all pissed and walks away. And I'm like, oh, okay, what the fuck was that all about? And then like 4 scenes later, it's like midnight and she's still pissed at him about that. Who the fuck gets pissed?
Still pissed about the
All
coffee.
he said was, "Where's my coffee?" And she was like, "Where do you want it?"
And then they're having like relation problems just because of that throughout the whole night.
That's like welcome to married life. I mean,
Yeah, every little thing, right?
we were watching the movie. I'm like, and the later scene came up. I was like, is she still pissed about the coffee thing?
I mean, I would be too. It's all about the tone. Don't have
was.
that kind of tone with people.
Yeah, he had bad tone. So that was number one that distracted me. The other one was that they start a fire in the house and then it just blows up like there's gas in the air or something. It doesn't just burn down like a normal house.
Yeah, and we'll definitely get into that. I mean, they actually did blow up a real house.
Yeah.
Like they've
You're
set the lines.
getting ahead of us here.
So well, anyways, but yeah, the house. It's like there was like a huge like gas line like bust, or there was like a bunch of like tanks in there that just blew up. It was such a.
But there wasn't.
The explosion was way too big.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't know. This is probably a meth lab. It was out in the woods.
Yeah.
I don't know where it was filmed. If it was anywhere in Alabama, there's probably a meth lab in there.
Could have been.
Yeah, you never know. See, all those chemicals and stuff just made the explosion even intensified the explosion.
You're just being too judgmental. Okay,
Yeah.
this director had a vision, and it had that house exploding in it.
Yeah. He was like, that house ain't just going to burn down like a normal house. It's going to fucking explode.
And I did love the other thing, like that guy, the nerdy guy with like the army coat on. He was like always like wrapped up in like paper and stuff. And then the one scene before he got killed, he has that penis enlarging kit, and he has like a magnifying glass that he pops out, and that was actually pretty funny because I was like thinking it was going to be like a penis enlarger where you put the tube over your penis and you pump it, but it was a magnifying glass, so I kind of got let down by that one.
I did too because I was taking notes on the movie and I was going to try to figure out what brand he had.
Yeah, I know. Damn it,
you really do. So the last one that sort of distracted me was fucking Jason with like 15 different weapons in this movie.
Oh yeah, I know. He had
Well,
so many weapons.
this is Kane Hodder's Jason.
Oh, I
this
know.
this man can do no wrong. I'm surprised. So, I mean, he didn't just use like hand tools in this one either. I mean, he had I think he had a weed eater at one point.
Oh, weed eater with like a circular saw blade on it.
Yeah, round saw weed whacker.
And like before that,
Okay.
he had some kind of like sickle or something. I don't even know what it was.
Yeah, and before that, he had like a I don't even know, like a long knife at the end of like a wooden stick. Each time he had something different. Yeah. So it was, but it is Kane Hodder, and this is the era of Kane Hodder now. We're moving into Kane Hodder. Who
He
now,
was an amazing Jason.
Oh, he was freaking awesome.
He's
No,
clearly
he's he's by far my favorite.
yeah.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. Kane Hodder. Hopefully you listen to this. You are our favorite. But that's
He was the best Jason who had the worst movies.
I know.
I know it's too bad.
So
But he's the only Jason that went to do more than one movie, because there's been other Jasons before him that only did the one movie each, and he actually moved on. So that's cool that he kind of, took the reins and stayed with the character. So we saw the same guy throughout the next couple movies here.
Yeah. But
he really loved the character too.
Yeah. Well, those are my pre-notes, but we should jump into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Friday the 13th, Part 7, directed by John Buechler.
Buechler.
And, when they assigned it, or not assigned it to him, but when they interviewed for directors and they talked to him, his first question was, why are you making this movie? Like, what? I thought, there's been 6 of them already. Why should we do this?
Yeah.
And he said,
because we're going to let you blow up a house, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably what sold him on it. He was like, yes, I need to blow up a house.
And if he's director, he could pretty much do whatever he wants because he's the director. So he's like, oh, yeah. But yeah, exactly.
So he's an effects artist, and he did the effects for Reanimator, which we talked about a while back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was a little fun fact. He was so he had sort of both sides, but he was real specific about saying that this movie, he wanted to be more of a stunt movie than a special effects movie. Although they did use a lot of special effects, This is the first time, not the first time, but the most we see Jason without his mask on, and the most work they probably put into his face without the mask on. But if you're watching and you're keeping track, it is a lot of stunts. He falls through the stairs. The roof falls on him. It's just a bunch of stuff like that. So they want it to be stunt heavy.
Which was cool. He also helped in A Nightmare on Elm Street. I actually remember seeing him in that documentary. So it was fitting to have him as the director because at this time, Friday the 13th Part 7 was competing with A Nightmare on Elm Street. So it was, he like switched over sides here. So that was kind of cool to see him there too.
Yeah, but this movie was kind of different than all the other ones, for sure, with all the stunts, and it was, at certain points it felt more like an action movie than it did a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one.
The girl played by fucking Lar Park Lincoln.
Yeah, Lar Park Lincoln.
That's the weirdest name ever.
Yep, Tina. She plays Tina.
Lar Park Lincoln. I don't even like Lincoln Park, so I don't even reference that.
Well, why don't you like Linkin Park?
Dude, it's too new metal. And just once new, that sort of like new metal age hit, I just couldn't stand all of it.
There's some good songs that they have.
I don't know.
Mike Shinoda is a lyrical genius.
I don't know, man.
He's almost as good as T Swift. So I celebrate her entire portfolio.
So I just couldn't handle the whole Linkin Park Disturbed, drowning pool, insert band, whatever phase of music.
No Papa Roach?
Nah, Papa Roach is a little more tolerable because it's like a little bit more pop punk. Like they know what they are. They're not Disturbed trying to be heavy when there's bands like Cannibal Corpse that, you know what I mean?
See, Cannibal, I can understand like Cannibal Corpse, but like I can't listen to Cannibal Corpse all the time.
Yeah,
well, I could listen to Linkin Park all the time. It's just maybe it's just a preference thing, but like Cannibal Corpse, it'll be like I'll be on bath salts, like just be out there eating people.
I just see bands like
one song sounds the same as all the other songs.
Just for some reason, when like a new metal or alternative or some band tries to like put in that heavy part in their song that where it's supposed to be like, oh, everyone wash or go crazy. I'm so into this underground heavy music that I'm like, why are you even trying? Like, it's what are you doing? If
I never got into Disturb or anything. I did like Papa Roach, Blink 182, and I like Linkin Park's like first 2 albums.
Yeah. Well, I think I like Blink. I think pop punk's all right, and like the that whole punk thing, I think they're good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, me too.
All right, back. Where were we?
Let's get back into this. Yes.
Lar Park Lincoln. That's what started this whole conversation.
Yeah, to play Tina, which she has the psychokinetic actions that she does.
A total. I mean, they knew they were doing it, but a total ripoff from Carrie. And their excuse was there was no way to do a Freddy versus Jason right now because Freddy was getting popular. So let's bring in like a Freddy versus Carrie, or sorry, Jason versus Carrie type movie.
Which was what? Did Carrie come out in like 1976?
79.
79?
Well,
Yeah.
79, I think, or was it 76? One of those.
Yeah, I'm not sure the book was written in the mid '70s though, but
Yeah.
no, it was a complete ripoff of Carrie to a certain extent, but she was way hotter than Sissy Spacek.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Carrie. It was a Carrie clone, but with different baggage, and she had some different stuff that she did, but it was.
I would let her telekinesis my dick all day long.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. She was definitely sexy.
As long as it was with something with some like lube on it. I don't even know how she would do it, but I'd be down.
She's got skills, man.
Yeah.
She'd pull the mud up off the ground and like mud your penis down.
I don't know about that. That sounds too rough.
Mud's an exfoliant.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so that's something you just put on and leave it. You don't really rub it.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Danny would be limping around with like Indian rug burn on his junk.
yeah, no way.
Yeah, that would not be good.
So then we had Terry Kaiser playing the psychiatrist who was the corpse in Weekend at Bernie's. If you guys saw that,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
he's
I
like
remember seeing
famous
that.
for being the corpse in Weekend at Bernie's. No lines or anything.
Just lays on the couch as a corpse the whole time.
That is one of those great classic movies, though.
Yes.
I love that movie.
And then we already talked about it. Kane Hodder plays Jason, and yeah,
Badass.
he's just I don't know. He got it. He gets it right. He's a big guy. He does his own stunts. He doesn't whine like a couple of the other ones we talked about where, oh, they need to replace me because I can't do these stunts.
And he went from the last Jason that was kind of like a zombie-like coming out of the grave, and he's quick again, fast movements, and which I kind of like, and he still has that like. Obviously, we see him without his mask in this movie, and some of the producers and we'll get into it didn't like it, but I thought it looked badass, and he does have those quick movements and stuff, which is cool.
Well, and he was an actor as well, so they were
Yeah.
saying he doesn't have any lines, whatever, but it does take an actor to the body movement, the head movement, the portrayal.
Yeah, he had great body. He had great body language. He was really intimidating without ever making a sound. I mean, it was really he like I said, he's my favorite Jason, but this movie was pretty good. We'll get on to Jason Takes Manhattan later.
Yeah, that one not so much. This was one of. I mean, it was a good movie. It was a really good movie. I thought it was. It's up there with one of my favorites. Of them.
This one and actually part 6 and part 7 were one.
Yeah.
Besides the first one, I think the first one, part 6 and 7 were maybe one of my favorites. So
The boobs in part 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Those were good. I mean,
part 5 boobs. There was so much boobs in part 5.
It was brilliant. It was a brilliant. I mean, it made up for the whole terrible plot.
Yeah.
And not just boobs, like big, like saggy,
Dangling
voluptuous
fun
boobs.
bags.
We saw a little bit of boobage in this one. And we only saw like one nipple in this one. Did we? Or was there a full?
I don't know. There was when she was in the water and he's dragging her down. There was a little bit of boobage there.
Okay, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. But not much.
They traded off. They
Yeah.
were like, man, you could blow up a house, or
You can have boobs.
we could pay for all these. We could pay like the extra whatever for per actor to go topless, and he really wanted to blow that house up.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of decisions like that, I guess for Friday the 13th, why did I write? What the fuck did I write this down here for?
Well, what did you guys think of
Chemistry? I don't know if go ahead. What were you
the
gonna say?
whole like every movie like Jason comes back, like he supposedly dies in part 6 and he's underneath the lake, chained down with the rock, and
He doesn't come back in 5, Scotty, because that whole movie was a lie. That
Duh.
whole movie
Yeah.
was a lie.
That's right. 5. Yeah, that's right. 5. We can forget about 5. But like Tina resurrects him again. But Jason he can come back to life whenever the hell he wants. It seems like
I thought the resurrection was cheesy as fuck.
for this one or for part
this
8?
one. I mean,
Both.
the electricity is still cheesy, but not as cheesy as Psychokinesis Girl wishing him back to life or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you write chemistry, Danny, because of her and her male lead
Oh,
had
yeah,
no
that probably is why.
because wasn't he gay or something like that, or they
and
just hated each other?
I thought I wrote that down later
Yeah.
on, but yeah, no, that's right, because they called it Frigay the 13th. This one,
Yeah, some people call it Frigay the 13th.
Yeah.
There was some gay actors in it. Kevin Blair, that played Nick, was supposedly gay, which was the main opposite boyfriend guy of Tina.
although we didn't get that, so we watched the movie first before we studied up on it, and there were two characters that we were like, oh, he's gay. Oh, he's gay. But I didn't catch the lead character. He did
Yeah,
a good.
I
He did a
didn't
good
either.
job of covering it up.
I thought the black guy in the van, I thought he was gay,
Yeah, he was gay. I
but
bet.
it seemed like
And then who was the other one that I was like instantly? Was it the guy
the guy that was
with the sleeveless shirts that both girls are going after? And yeah, I think it was. I forgot his name.
maybe it was him. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't remember the names on it, but yeah, I do remember hearing that. In that it wasn't that he just was gay, but that he just despised her. Like
Yeah,
they,
like
from
they didn't
what
get
I can
along.
remember, they just did not like each other whatsoever.
Yeah, there was no chemistry, and like the scenes were awkward, but
And
they made it work.
I got no problem, obviously, with gay people being in movies or gay people at all, but I do have a problem when they're flaming gay and they can't not act that way. You know what I mean?
They can't break their.
So, like, this
yeah.
guy did a good job, but a couple of them let it slip through, and I've seen it before, with our parents having a theater and stuff. It's like, they're like, can you come out here and, you're reading for the part of, like, this cowboy or something who's very manly. They're like, oh, okay, well...
Yeah, it's like,
I see my character with green sparkle combat boots and just screaming.
Yeah.
It's like, no, okay, it's time for you to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there was no hiding it in Nightmare Part 2, but I
No.
think that
Yeah.
it's like what they said though, is like it was subtext, but it became very obvious.
Oh, it
yeah.
did.
Oh
It did.
gosh, yeah.
So, yeah.
nothing will top Nightmare Part 2. I don't think.
Maybe it's because I've been following along with y'all and everything else that I saw Nightmare Part 2, so this did not seem gay at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true. Like, I don't know why they call it Frigay. Yeah, if you put it side to side to part 2, this one's like straight up as a nail.
Yeah, Frigay. Yeah, Frigay. Part 7 is straight. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I didn't catch much of it, so. But, so then once again, the MPAA just cut the shit out of this film.
Oh, so many scenes.
Imagine if like they were saying that they were trying to do director's cuts and remastered stuff for a lot of these films, but all the film is lost.
Yeah.
And that really just kind of stinks for me, because you're watching the documentary and you're like, they're kind of showing you some of the extended. You're like, that would have really been awesome.
Yeah.
But like they said, they went back and the reels just don't even exist anymore. They're just gone.
Yeah. So they can't have a director's cut, which sucks.
That's bullshit. I mean, they spent all this money, they spent all this time, and they should at least keep the final cut somewhere. And I don't know. I think it's sort of bullshit that they cut so much out of it anyways. And who knows, maybe it would be different nowadays. But
it's weird. Like, you look at even the Nightmare series compared to Friday, and it seems like they kept a lot of the grueling stuff in those movies, and like, why can't Friday the 13th keep theirs? So maybe it's more, I don't know, because it's campy and the kids, and I don't know.
Well, and this was 1988. I mean, if you go back and look at anything that David Cronenberg did, like The Fly and stuff like that, these movies were comedies compared to a lot of the things that were released within 3 to 5 years plus or minus of these movies. It just seems like the MPAA just wasn't going to even give them an inch.
Yeah.
Like, we're just not going to give it to you. I mean, and Freddie had some issues with it too, but I think there's like horror movies and there's like horror art movies, and maybe like The Exorcist and The Fly and Videodrome and some of these others, and Evil Dead, they kind of slipped. But I guess these, like Freddie and Jason, were like the rock stars, and they were just like, look, we're throwing the book at you. We're not going to let you do anything that we don't want.
I mean, it is a shame because it would have turned the movie into a piece of art. I mean, an effects art show, basically, because same with you. We're watching the documentary. They're showing barely any of the deleted scenes that they had access to, and it would have been a whole different movie. I mean,
like the sleeping bag scene, which was awesome. Him throwing her around in that sleeping bag, and I guess there was a lot more blood and stuff to it. But it ended up working out good, I guess. They all said they were happy with it, but there was a lot more to it.
And then like the decapitation in 5, if the head bounced more than one time, we were going to give you like an NC-17 or an X or something.
So ridiculous.
It just didn't make any sense because you could look at Last House on the Left or tons of these movies, and I think it just seems like these movies were making more money than the MPAA thought they should. So maybe it was just a whole bunch of like leathery white waspy people sitting in an office somewhere.
Yeah.
They were just like, no way, we're not giving them. We'll do everything we can to shut them down, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that reminds me, we watched the documentary too, and they talk about how one of the executive or associate producers, Barbara Sachs, had so much tension with the director in this film in Part 7. Because she was trying to tone down everything and it was almost like the MPAA. It's almost like they have the power to do it, so they're just going to do it because they're fucking assholes,
Yeah, well, that's what it seems like to me. And this is, and I think it's honestly just because of the amount of money in the size of the audience that went and saw these, that the whole Nancy Reagan, the big save our youth from TVs and music, influences and stuff, and maybe that had to be something to do with it.
Oh, I had to. And I mean, because so this associate producer, Barbara Sachs, everything, it was almost like she was in the way and was just trying to contradict everything.
Yeah, didn't like any of the effects.
Yeah, didn't want Jason's mask off, and then once it was off, hated the makeup job they did and vetoed it. Said, no way, we're not going to do this. The director, John, he was too busy to go over her head and talk to Frank Mancuso, and so he just did it anyways. He just filmed it and put it in the cut, and everyone liked it, and she could go fuck off.
Even Frank Mancuso liked it, and he's the producer, so...
And another one she stepped in the way of, too, was, at the end of the movie, when she fucking wills her dad back to life, and he comes and pulls Jason into the lake, he just looks like her dad with a dirty face.
Yeah, he looks like he just left like the local LL Bean.
Yeah.
He's
just some guy in the lake. And they originally filmed it with his face all fucked up. And
zombified.
Yeah, because he'd been underwater for so long. And the Barbara, she just was like, no, I vetoed. I don't like that.
Yeah. And I think even the actor that played the dad was like disappointed. He was like, well, and they spent so much man hour. I mean, they created these effects already.
Yeah.
She would just walk around and like veto everything. So it's like, how much, in my opinion, how much more money would these movies be worth in compared to what they spent if they actually used the footage they spent all the money on making?
Yeah, really.
Because these movies are great. I like them, but they're basically comedies. Because when you go back and look at it, there could have been so much more that would have made them like Hellraiser. Hellraiser to me is one of the they've had so many sequels and it's funny now, it's ridiculous, but the original where they got away with doing all that stuff was just it's terrifying. It's a scary movie, and I think Jason was always meant to be way more scarier than what he ended up being.
Yeah. Just because all those they held him back, which sucked.
Everybody write letters at the MPAA.
Yeah. We're pissed at you for back in the 80s.
Find that lost footage and find it now.
Yeah, god damn it.
So then we talked about Tina, old Tina, but young Tina, and I don't have her name, but
Jennifer Banco.
Damn, Scotty Dude, coming in with the notes.
I got these.
Yep, he's got the notes.
They're all up in the head.
No, they're not. You have that written down. So young Tina, and then the cousin Michael, who they're supposed to have the surprise party for, but he gets killed in the woods. Obviously.
William Butler.
Oh, William Butler,
yeah, baby.
Damn, come on, Scotty, keep them coming.
I can't
even find them fast enough on my iPhone on Wikipedia to keep up with it.
So they later were together in Texas Chainsaw 3. I thought that was a cool fact.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually kind of stoked to do some of the Chainsaw Massacres. I actually had to go and download some of those. They got really weird with Matthew McConaughey.
You know what?
Viggo Mortensen was in the third one. I didn't even realize.
Oh
that.
Shit! No, really?
Yeah.
I fucking love The Next Generation with Matthew McConaughey. That's one of my favorites. I don't know why.
So crazy.
He's just really good in it.
It's like Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
It's just this weird, trippy movie.
It is.
He's got the fucking remote control leg, and It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
And speaking of Jennifer Banco, she's obviously, it's only 2 years later, so she's a little girl in Texas Chainsaw 3 as she is in Friday the 13th Part 7. So I wonder if those like are her only 2 movies, because when she did like the documentary, she looked like she's been used and abused, kind of.
I mean, nowhere near what's her name from Dream Warriors, but
Oh God, what is her name?
The girl with the leash.
yeah, I forgot her name.
Oh,
yeah.
I actually I actually meant to like write it down so I could like follow her like on Twitter.
Oh,
and
what
stuff.
was it?
So I'm just see if I can find her.
I have it in my notes here.
Because if I could find her, I'd have to follow that crazy shit.
Yeah, I know. She is freaking nuts.
I mean,
Oh
yeah,
my
nothing
God.
to the level that she has fucking gone down, the tubes to.
Yeah. So I mean, she was still looking good. I mean, she was probably our age. What, 30? You think?
I don't know. Yeah.
Jennifer Banco, but yeah,
She might have been used and put away wet,
Yeah.
Oh, well, ready for all the women's rights groups. That's a term of endearment. It's better than being put away dry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
that's arguable. That's true. Yeah. But so then another thing they used another thing, I don't even know why I said that. They used the Jarvis house for a scene from the Jarvis house was in the part 4, right?
Part 4. Yeah, part 4.
That we talked about.
Part 3 and 4, or no?
That the house was also used in all these other movies.
Yeah,
but,
part 4.
But they had
It was pre Corey Feldman.
pre Corey Feldman. Yeah. Or it was the one Corey Feldman was in.
Well, but it was pre tranny transformation.
Yeah, that's right. It was when he was just a weird little kid.
Yeah.
So
Hashtag tranny transformation.
yeah, use that.
I wrote that hashtag down.
You better use it. I want to see it on like your next Instagram post or something.
So they actually during principal photography they filmed a murder, Robin's death, who's the girl that has sex with the guy with the sleeveless shirt and whatever. So
She was hot.
They filmed her death, and what it was Jason cutting her in half with a machete, like right in half, torso. But I guess it just looked too fake, and they did show some of the. We looked up and saw some of the outtakes of it. It did look pretty fake, so they had to reshoot her death, where Jason throws her out the window, and it's actually a stunt double that is coming out of the window with a horrible wig on, so you can sort of tell that when you're watching it, but. They actually filmed that at the Jarvis house, the same house where they had filmed other stuff before.
Part 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a Friday the 13th movie unless you have someone getting thrown through the window, someone stabbed up through the bed sheets.
Yeah.
Those are like they have to always be in there.
Well,
no
this
matter
time
what.
it was Jason jumping into the window.
Yeah, that's right.
So
And Jason was a badass in this one, man. Jason did like cardio and probably like like Kempo or something like that.
CrossFit. He was.
Oh yeah, he was in shape, man.
Yeah, punching through people's backs right through their heart.
Yeah.
He was intense.
So
Well, and all that stuff started with what? With I guess that would be part 6 when he came back to life with the lightning. All of a sudden, he became superhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that he is now because I don't know. It just makes it a little more creepy to me. Before, I'm one where like if it's a movie and there's just a killer, then it doesn't scare me as much because I'm like, just go like kill the guy yourself. Like it just takes you to come out on top during the physical confrontation. But when it's like supernatural and you can't kill him, then it's sort of like, fuck, what do I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like.
No, I
it better.
definitely like the craziness.
Yeah. And speaking of him being in shape, he took some punishment too. That scene where the roof falls on him, they actually knocked it off and fell right on top of him. He said it literally smashed him into those stairs in the front of the cabin there.
And they had like give him a minute, just like gain composure and get back into it.
Well, he's a tough guy because I guess they said that I always make fun of him because he has no neck.
Yeah.
But I guess if you look at his neck, that he's roasted. He did a stunt went bad with a fire stunt, and he burnt up really good.
Yeah, I heard that. And
So he's a tough guy just in general. I guess maybe that's why everybody kind of likes Kane Hodder.
Yeah.
I mean,
He is a
yeah.
tough.
Well, I heard that he got burnt up, and then he turned around and he was fire suiting it again for part 7 here. So he, it didn't stop him from coming back and doing the same thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, he's awesome. I mean, and just as a person, he just seems to be, he really loved the Jason character. I think. I mean, I think that he really, he says he does, but I mean, you could just tell that with all the every behind the scenes, every documentary, Kane Hodder is in it. He's out there.
Yeah.
He's doing everything he can to kind of promote what he did and hopefully what the franchise will do later.
Yeah, and he's still doing. I mean, you look him up on Twitter, on Facebook. His profile picture is him in the Jason mask. His banner is with him in the Jason. Actually, his Twitter page has a picture of him and Bruce Campbell and like two other guys that I don't recognize. So that must have been at some like Comic-Con or something.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
but yeah, and in those interviews, he's like ripped as hell. He's like huge still. I'm like, God dang, I would not want to mess with this guy. But yeah.
And has no neck.
Yeah, and it has no neck. Yeah, necklace.
Hashtag necklace.
So this movie did 19.2 million gross at the box office, which doesn't sound bad, and it wasn't the worst, but it was way behind. It opened around the time that Dream Master did, which did 41 million in the box office. So it was
Not Freddy's Dream Master.
yeah, it was a little bit of a hit to the groin there.
But they did say it did do the best in the month of May, doing 8 million.
Yeah,
but
when it was released,
but Dream Master came out after that and
crushed it.
But still, it was very profitable for Paramount. Still,
Well, all the Jason movies were. I
Yeah.
mean, even when you listen to Frank Mancuso Jr. talk about them all, he just says, I mean, obviously they had budgets, but in movie speak, he said, they cost nothing to make, and there's no risk because they cost nothing to make, and even when the numbers were bad, they were bringing people in every single release.
yeah.
No, they always made money, and they always seemed to. As much as they probably the MPAA tried to tone them down and everything. People were waiting in line for these movies.
Yeah.
Like how fucking awesome would it be to just be Frank Mancuso Jr. banking in on all this fun? Like they were literally getting together in the mountains in the forest to film these on location. So that would be fun. And there wasn't these big, large budgets, so you weren't dealing with a lot of logistics. It was a cool investment.
And he had fun with them. I mean, he named all the scripts after David Bowie songs.
Yeah, the working title scripts.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah, what was one? What was the one that we were just talking about last? I forgot the names.
But yeah, he named
that
them.
was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a good. I mean, his dad was real huge, and he kind of, these were really his babies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was like his big start was when he started, getting in on all these sequels. So I mean, he really took care of them, and I know he had a blast doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, this last one, Part 7 was called like Birthday Bash or something. Like they got the script.
And then all the actors
Lar
were saying
Park,
that
Lincoln,
they would get on set and they don't really know what they're doing yet, and they would see like Kane Hodder walk by in the the full gear, and they're just like, oh my god, yes,
It's a Jason movie.
Yeah.
Hey,
What is that sound?
what's that noise?
Oh my god.
Oh Lord!
It's the horror halftime.
oh no, oh, it's foaming with blood.
Ears foaming with blood.
My
That's
ears
trademark.
oozing with pain.
I heard Scotty got close last week to using my trademark.
Yeah,
You
I
did.
did. I did.
You almost-
I had to rip that.
You almost had to sue us.
Yeah, I pulled out my flip phone and everything. I was
Wow.
about to call a lawyer.
About to lawyer up.
Instead of blood, I said cum. The flowing with cum, but I said blood.
My ears are foaming with cum.
Yeah, my ears are foaming with cum. I mean blood.
Where the hell did Corey Feldman come from?
Yeah, God damn it, Corey. How'd you get in here?
But all right, horror halftime. So
Let's do this.
God, I'm almost thinking of last minute switching the horror halftime because we've been talking about tranny Corey Feldman the whole time.
Yeah.
Did Corey Feldman? Did somebody post a tranny picture of themselves as Corey Feldman?
No one has, so I
Damn
don't
it.
know. I don't know if we should.
Damn it, people, get original out there.
All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna. No, fuck it. We'll stick with the original one. Maybe we'll do Tranny Corey Feldman next time. All right, original plan for the horror halftime. So, I want to see if you guys have like Jason or Friday the 13th fan art. So if you have like created a DVD cover artwork or even maybe a t-shirt design or something, take your fan art, post it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Cult Classic Horror. Post on the page or on Instagram and tag us at Cult Classic Horror in the picture. And if we like it, we'll send you some free stuff. Or if we like yours the best, we'll pick one winner and we'll send them some free shit. So probably a t-shirt. That's usually what we do. So definitely do that. And actually, I'm going to announce that our horror halftime freak of the week is Sophie Holt.
Yeah, Sophie.
Congratulations, Sophie.
Yeah.
You're going to get a shirt and a used pair of Scott's underwear.
Yes. I got used pairs of underwears for you, Sophie.
She, you can see her picture on our Facebook page on the posts by other people, and she did Carrie for a costume party. She covered herself in blood.
Which was only appropriate because we have a Carrie character in Friday the 13th Part 7.
She really lucked out there.
So you were right on the dot there, Sophie.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out to some of the participators. I know Anthony DeMarchi, I got a shout out to you because you had a cool picture, and you didn't win because I already sent it out. But that's all right. We appreciate you.
And your costume was badass, man. The whole, like, underneath the mask Jason configuration, and the mask was awesome. So kudos to you, brother.
Yeah.
Send him some underwear, Scotty. Come on.
I'll send you some underwear, some
You got
clean
a whole,
ones.
You got that. You can send him that. I want the dirty ones.
Okay. I'll send you the dirty ones, Robbie.
Yeah, there you go. I want like the duck butter. I want like the thick ones.
All right. The ones that I haven't washed in like years, but I keep wearing over and over again.
Yeah.
Last time I was on here, I was about to say I heard you had a collection of like 13, 20-year-old underwear.
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
And actually, before we talk about that, I'm just going to say, and that concludes the horror halftime.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
And now talk more about underwear.
Yes.
Well,
yeah,
you
I do.
completely ruined it. Completely ruined the spontaneity, Danny.
God damn it. No, those are the ones I keep in like the back of my drawer in case I run out of like I don't do laundry and I run out of underwear, so I like wear those like on reserve just in case I have to, you know.
You still have a pair of Jinko jeans and you're keeping underwear from the 90s. I mean, there's something wrong here.
I have one pair of Jinko jeans that I'm just gonna frame in like a picture frame, so I'll just remember.
I
them
don't
as
have
being
any
a
of that
classic.
shit. I just threw, just last week, my wife made me, well, I wanted to too, but she sort of made me throw away like 5 shirts that were maybe like 6 years old, you know.
Hey, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I see.
She made you think that you wanted to. That's how deep the brainwashing has gone.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Hey, if they start getting those little pinholes in them, she's like, no more. Throw that thing away.
Well, they're just broke in. They're comfortable.
Yeah, that's true. What the hell?
And I don't ever throw anything away. I even send my dirty underwear to Goodwill. Somebody will use them.
Yeah. Hey, you're right.
It's a
Yeah.
good
Might as well not.
face mask for when it's cold out if you're a bum.
especially the Under Armours. They make like thermals.
Oh yeah.
That's
So
true.
those will work good.
And they'll wick away the moisture, right?
They'll wick away all the bum sweat.
Yeah, bum sweat. Yeah, they'll wick it away and they collect it in a cup, and then you can sell it as a beverage.
Yeah.
Bum sweat.
Oh, beautiful.
Well,
Bum
now
sweat
that you
juice.
guys are doing YouTube and stuff, Scotty's got to come in with Jinkos on.
Yeah. I'll see. They're like somewhere folded in like the back of my closet, so I'll see if I can find them. I'll hold them up in the camera there.
No, you got to wear them. There's no holding them up. You need to come in wearing them with like Vans, the whole 9 yards.
All right. I'll see if I can. I'll see if they still fit. I was a little skinnier back then.
Just put suspenders on. You'll be fine.
There we go.
All right, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Let's do it. Wow.
I kind of want to keep talking about Scotty's underwear because
I know.
Jason Takes Manhattan was rough.
Yeah,
It was
rough.
very rough.
That was a rough movie. I rewatched it and I was like, it's like, damn it, why couldn't they had me on for 4 and 5?
I know. See, you're right.
I just like first of all, you have the introduction of the just horrid 80s music for the title credits, which is what I was so glad to get away from with Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Mm-hmm.
But now they've jammed it in there finally.
Yeah, they jammed in the 80s. Well, they have a different composer now.
They didn't spit on it or anything. They jammed it right in the beginning.
Yeah.
No warning.
Just dried it in. God.
Just prison rape.
Yeah. Prison rape the 80s music right into my ears.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. You got like the New York skyline, and you got this 80s music. You're like, what the hell? Is this going to be like a romantic comedy happening here?
Well, and then was it really necessary? Was that 80s rocker girl character really necessary for this movie?
Some characters they add in these movies aren't necessary at all. So she probably...
Who brings a fucking guitar and guitar amp on their senior cruise with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of didn't really. I don't think they really read like the youth of America too well. Like, this is going to appeal to all the people that carry electric guitars and amps around.
Yeah.
We have to have this character.
I was so glad she was like the first one to die. I was like, get rid of this bitch now.
Well, it's more characters to kill. So, she was another character that Jason could kill and hit over the head with a guitar. So,
yeah.
In Jason fashion. Yeah.
Sort of terribly disappointed.
Yeah.
Just bad. And then I think what they said, they filmed all that in Canada.
Yeah, Toronto.
It's like
Vancouver.
It's the place that looks as opposite of New York as you could possibly have.
Yeah. God. But they did film the Times Square scenes.
Well, yeah, they had
Times
to.
Square, because obviously they had to. But most of the other ones were in Vancouver. And this is only a year later. This is 1989, so we're not even out of the 80s yet.
Yeah, so Rob Hedden was the director. And they were planning on doing almost the whole movie in Manhattan, which I don't know if I'm glad they did or didn't, because it's a little cheesy once they got to Manhattan, even more so than the boat.
Yeah. And
it was pretty rough.
Yeah. But they just didn't have the budget. I mean, they had a chase scene across the Brooklyn Bridge they were wanting to do, and all these crane shots, and they didn't have the budget to basically rent out New York to film their movie.
And if they would have cut that stupid guitar girl.
Yeah, really.
They could have had They could have had some more money.
They didn't spend a fortune on that flying V and that little karaoke amp.
Yeah.
Doesn't somebody still have that guitar? On the thing that somebody still had that guitar.
Yeah, I think the director still had that flying V guitar with some blood on it too.
Yeah, he was proud of it too.
Yeah.
Look at this, still has the blood stain on it. But they chose to move the movie from Crystal Lake to New York because all the Friday the 13th up until this point were all in the woods, and they obviously Nightmare on Elm Street was doing it and stuff, so they're like, oh, we have to move Jason to a city or something too. So I kind of like that, but as Danny was saying, only 25% of it was actually shot as being in Manhattan.
Yeah, it was a great idea. It just wasn't executed very well. But I thought that it was cool. Like the Times Square scene, like Kane Hodder was almost getting choked up. He was like, because there was just droves of people out there screaming and like all these fans and everything. So it definitely was really cool. But I would have found a way to trim the budget a little bit. Like, there's some people that didn't need to be in this movie.
Well, it's cool you mentioned that Kane Hodder felt that way because in his interviews he was saying how they obviously this was the Times Square scene was a big set feel. They had a crane, they had hundreds of extras, but then they also had these people behind barricades just watching from the side. And there he is in full Jason garb filming, and he said he just looked over at one of the barricades and they all started just cheering and screaming, and he felt like a rock star, he said.
Yeah,
so
freaking out and stuff. But yeah, that's the cool part about being in the city with a ton of fans, and then you're shooting it in the woods, and there's like no one besides just the cast and crew. But
because even when it was popular and they were in the woods, everything was, they even had the scripts and code. I mean, like people couldn't figure it out. Like, especially back then, there was no Twitter or social media or anything. But I'm sure this was the first time they really dealt with like that type of situation.
Yeah, people trying to get in on the shoot, or I'm in the background, or at least meet the people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and this is of course like part 5, you were saying he got resurrected by the electroshock from underneath the lake.
That one's a little cheesy too.
And then he rides the boat, to like New York, and that's how he transports there. But they did do an outtake scene where the girl gets killed with like the harpoon thing, and he actually had a strap-on penis that they shot from above. That was funny to see that.
That was hilarious.
I wonder how Kane Hodder got that. He found like a strap-on penis and just
you gotta have some fun on the set, I guess, while you're filming.
He sent like an intern or a grip or somebody. He was like, "Look, whatever, get the studio credit card or whatever, and go to like the nearest like bag of dicks store you can find.
Yeah,
and go and pick me up a big one. I want a big one.
Yeah."
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that was cool.
And really white, like my skin is. My skin is clammy and chalk white, so I want the dildo to look exactly like that.
I was a little upset that it didn't have makeup effects on it, though. Little rotting flesh and goopy.
Looked pretty rubbery. Yeah.
It'd be great to go hand that to the makeup effects guy. But look, Kane, he wants you to he wants you to paint his dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His real one? No, he sent George to go get one, and he will be back, and then you have to paint it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, no problem.
God dang.
So then obviously there was the dilemma of how the fuck did this boat get out of a lake into the Atlantic Ocean and over, to the cruise where they're all meeting to go to New York. Mm-hmm. So
you're just being nitpicky now.
Yeah, right.
Like it just strolls into the harbor.
Oh, that yacht floated down the stream for miles.
What's hilarious is this, I've watched that movie again just a week ago or whatever, and I didn't think anything about it until I watched the documentary. Like that's just how these movies lull you into sleep.
Oh, me too.
Because like as a kid you don't think about it, but even as an adult, I watched it and never once was I like, I wonder how they got to New York. I was just like, okay, the movie started, we're gonna watch it.
Yeah,
and then the documentary pops up and they're saying, I'm like, well, you know what? Screw you, I didn't notice it either.
You know what? It wasn't a big deal in my mind either until I watched the documentary. They're like, how does this boat get from a lake in the woods into the ocean? But it's sort of like how did Jason get from the Lazarus cruise ship on into New York? And it's sort of like we'll just let the fans figure that out for themselves.
Yeah, let the fans wonder, and which is that mysterious wondering how it happened.
Come up with their own thing.
Come up with their own outcome.
Basically, just laziness.
But none of us were. We were just like, come on. When's he going to kill somebody?
Where the hell is he?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, come on, let's
the
do
fans
this.
weren't thinking anything like that. Some of them were. Some of them were like, what the hell?
Speaking of killing, when they're on the Lazarus cruise ship or whatever ship it was, there is isn't it supposed to be like the whole high school class?
Yeah, well, it starts that way.
Yeah, and so we only see 6 or 7 or 8 deaths that actually happen. So we're maybe behind the scenes, the rest of the kids got killed or something. Like the boxer and the other kids watching them, and the other girls, and
yeah, they start on the ship with a couple, I don't know, 100 kids, and then all of a sudden, when the killings start happening, there's 8 of them.
Yeah.
And what high school does that?
Yeah.
What high school rents a yacht?
Yeah, and then goes to it's ridiculous.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen at my school. That's just
no.
I can just say that didn't happen.
I don't even know if there was a senior trip at my school. I don't.
Cruise ship with a dance floor and a sauna. God, dude, come on, man.
And then you had the horny pedophile teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. God. Yeah, that was.
And then when they interviewed him, he was actually admitting that, I was that got it going for me.
Yeah, he was he was on the spot and the interview, admitting he was horny for the girl.
Yeah,
and she's obviously a lot older.
That one really got me going.
Well, so, his name's.
I had to take 2 of the blue pills.
Yeah.
To the extends, Peter.
or
Viagra's.
We just learned a little bit about Scotty.
Yep.
Extends if you're looking for a sponsor. Scotty Bonin is available.
Yes.
I'm right here, baby. Don't worry. But yeah, his name is Peter Mark Richmond. He played the uncle of the girl. What the heck was it? Oh yeah, Tamra. No, not Tamra.
Rennie.
Rennie. Yes, Rennie.
Another one of these garbage names.
Yeah.
Like Jenny and then Rennie is spelled all funky, and even if it's spelled correctly, it's a garbage name.
Yeah, Rennie. I don't know where that comes from. So.
What happened to like just the regular old like horror movie trashy names like Tiffany and Veronica?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. This is ridiculous.
I know. All these weird names that are spelled different.
They're just trying to be too witty, is what it is. They're trying to outsmart us.
Yeah.
The girl that played Rennie, her name is Jensen Daggett, which is a weird name too. Like Laura Park Lincoln.
Yeah, and she aged well.
She aged
She
really
did.
well.
Oh yeah, she looked nice.
Man, she was looking good in that documentary.
She might have had like a little scar on her boob, but I'm not
I
sure.
did see a little scar on the boob, like the cleavage, like right in the cleavage.
Y'all are really going in deep on this.
Yeah. Oh, we were,
we were diving deep into that cleavage.
It was right there for viewing, so we had to just take it all in.
But she was looking really good for sure.
Pause on your 1080 high def TV and
Yeah.
really, but no, a lot of them did not age well.
No.
But she did. She's up there with some of the Freddy girls.
Yeah.
They were mentioning how all the surviving women of Friday the 13th should get back together and do a sequel. Mm-hmm. And looking at all of them now, I'm like, no, you really shouldn't, because half of you look like ass.
Yeah.
Well, we know which ones will die.
Yeah.
So that's the good part.
Yeah. Well, we know that Amy Steele and Jensen Daggett look good still. So the other girl, I guess Laura Park Lincoln was all right, but
she's a little chunky.
I'm on the fence with that one, but I do like the fact that the uncle, the actor that played the uncle, was like verbally admitting that he was walking around with a stiffy.
Yeah,
after this 18-year-old was jumping all over him, but he had like the audacity to like step back and be like, but I didn't even like doing this movie. It wasn't a proper like he's acting like he's some kind of like Broadway stage actor or something. It's like you knew what you were doing. Like you had no objections to the girl crawling all over you, but you thought that your death scene wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
It's like the director was doing you a favor, man.
Yeah. No, he did have a pretty rank death scene though. I mean, shitty slime barrel with a dead rat in it. Ugh.
Yeah.
They're all over New York too, just acid barrels with rats in them.
Oh, all of it, all over.
God, I've seen rats.
And they definitely flood the sewers with toxic waste every night.
Yeah, but that toxic waste has got some magical powers. It turned a zombie Jason into like a perfectly healthy 9-year-old.
Yeah. I think we should all be taking toxic waste baths.
I want to. Yeah, when I'm 90, I'm gonna go down there and get washed up and turn back into like my 9-year-old self.
Everybody, Scotty, just let's think this through a little bit. Yeah. No, I'm going for it. It's all downhill from here anyway.
That was the speaking of that part of the movie. That was the part Scotty, the almost nude part Scotty was most excited about.
Yeah, for the little boy. Yeah, exactly.
God,
that was great.
There's a lot of jokes coming to mind, but I'm just going to be quiet.
We didn't. He was very upset we didn't get a nipple shot of that little boy.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the crappy part about the whole thing is that the boobs did peak in part 5. They just did. The boobs peaked in part 5.
Yeah, no, they did.
It's been a steady downhill slope since then.
Part 5 was the paragon of boobage. It was just
that was the best.
The Mount Everest of boobs.
Did we even see any in part 7? I mean, we saw the biology writing all over her.
I don't think we saw any boobs. No nipples.
No, I mean, I think maybe you saw like some like through like a see-through 90, but those don't count.
No, they don't count.
There was no shower scenes. There was nothing, and it's really part 5, like when you were like 13. Part 5 was the movie you borrowed from your friend for like the night.
Yeah.
Like no, bring it back. I just does the pause work on really well?
Yeah, you can pause this, right?
It's like every time you get to the boob scene, the tracking starts messing up. Like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I'm sorry your tape's all sticky. Here you go.
You had this on pause. Well, like for 56 minutes. It took me, I came back and revisited certain scenes.
Yeah.
God, it's funny as hell.
I was cooking a meal while I was taking a break. So,
Kids nowadays don't understand. They got iPads. They hit pause. They don't understand about like the VHS and you have
No.
to time it just right.
Oh, dude.
Not at all.
What they also don't understand is at least for us back in the day, it was cloaking the VHS by like stealing a porn video, stealing the porn. So my mom had like the double VCR, back in the day.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Or
So
stacking two VCRs on one top of
Yeah.
each
So
other.
you steal the
that
porn
too.
video, you put it on a VHS, you tape it onto another tape, and you return it like nothing's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like label the other tape something just, whatever. Ours was labeled cartoons.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
We
I
taped
did it
over
with
cartoons.
I did it with a Indiana Jones because you could take a piece of Scotch tape and Scotch tape over that indention, and you could record over anything. So like I had like legit like okay, wait, 47 minutes into Temple of Doom, we're about to see some stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my friends borrowed that cartoons tape. That went through my friend tree. Like everyone borrowed that tape.
That thing was
brought it
used
back.
and abused.
I don't even know what happened to that thing.
That's one of the things I wish I would have kept. I don't even have a VCR, but
Yeah.
I could take it to like the Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah. You like, keep it like you put it in like a case. You're like, I remember those times. Yes.
Yep. Well, this says Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, sir, but it's actually Dungeon Lesbians Part 12.
Ours, I specifically remember one of ours. It was like a family birthday party. Is how they set it up, and then like the mom screws the son, and then like the aunt screws the son or something.
Yeah. It was a story was behind the porn.
It was like,
you know?
and the aunt. I just remember the aunt going, "Might as well keep it in the family."
Yeah.
Oh my god! I hope you watched it on mute.
I don't think we were that smart.
A lot of the times we did watch it on mute though, because my mom was upstairs teaching. So, anyways,
She gave voice lessons at home.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be great to be like a little panoramic thing. The mom's in there teaching voice lessons.
Yeah.
The kids they're watching cartoons with air quotes and
Yeah.
Yep.
Cartoons, quote. We probably won't get too much farther into that. Yeah. We could get into details here, but probably shouldn't.
No.
I don't know. They're just always so quiet when they have that cartoons tape.
So speaking of music, Fred Mullen was the music guy in Friday the 13th Part 8 who did the TV series, and Harry Manfredini was not there.
Yeah, this was, I think, the first one he wasn't involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the horrible 80s intro.
But don't you get that? Like, or even like they said in like the actual trailer for this Part 8, there was like the New York skyline and then the Frank Sinatra music, and people think it's gonna be like a romantic comedy, and then you see Jason turn around with a machete, and it's like, oh my god! So that was pretty cool, but yeah, the music was different for sure.
No, the music was tragic. It was not near as good as Dawkins' Dream Warriors. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
not at all. Yeah.
I didn't like that either. So.
You guys owe me $1.29 because I had went and bought that on iTunes.
Oh, Lord.
I'll send it to
I
you
never recommended
via
that.
PayPal.
I never recommended that.
Well, no, but you guys were talking about it, and I was like, trying to think, what is that? I was listening to it in my truck when I was driving on the road, and I just said, hold on, I just went to iTunes and bought it. Yeah, they won't give me my money back.
Oh, son of a bee.
You'll always have it now.
So then also we're talking about music. They had the whole disco thing in the cruise ship, and I think that was one of my favorite deaths, where he's choking her and he throws her down on the disco floor.
Yeah. That
I mean, they cut pretty much all the gore and violence out, anyways. So now they have a nice solid death without anything to cut out of, where he just slams her dead body on the ground.
and that was a cool sound. Like, it was perfectly timed. She had to like Kane Hodder. That was one of the more arduous scenes to film, because she actually had to like make it seem like she wasn't gonna, like she got thrown down.
Well, apparently he really slammed her down. Like, while watching the movie, I was like, oh, I wonder like how they did that. They get a dummy or what? And then we're watching documentary footage, and he's like, she had to fall without breaking her fall because she was technically dead, and she did a great job, and I really threw her down. And I was like, whoa. He fucking slammed her down.
And that was Kelly Hugh that he slammed down, and she actually went on to do some war movies, and which is weird. She was in X-Men 2 and The Scorpion King and a few. Those are just some of the top ones, but I never would have known her from that too. So
No, it's crazy. I wonder what the aftermath was like when she hit the ground. I wonder how many people came running.
Oh yeah,
Because Kane Hodder's a monster.
she probably broke a hip or something. I don't even know. It was rough.
I mean, I would have reservations. So what's gonna happen? Well, no, what's gonna happen is Jason Kane's gonna come in, and he's like just gonna like DDT you.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's gonna come in. Then the stunt guys, no, he's just gonna grab you and just toss you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure, yeah, let's go with that. I'm like 110 pounds.
Yeah. How much? I'm getting $200 a day. Oh, okay, I'm fine with that.
Well, it's either that or you can show your nipples. Okay.
Yeah.
Just have him body slam me. We're good.
And the sauna scene was pretty cool too, I guess, with the steaming rock engulfing his stomach.
Yeah, which they cut away from too.
Yeah,
anyways.
which they cut away from that too, which kind of sucked.
But it's still just scene they had that wasn't that the one we got to see was still, it was I remember seeing that the second time that I watched it, and it's unnerving. You are kind of like, oh God.
It's true.
Oh, God, that hurt.
That would be a horrible way to go.
Yeah.
And then of course the uppercut decapitation.
Oh, that was classic. So,
the boxing scene?
yeah, the boxing scene.
Yeah, that was a badass.
Yeah,
And it just goes back to like Kane Hodder. He's just kind of a stunt guy in general in the action scenes, and these movies aren't exactly the best, but the action scenes are great, and the fight up there, even though there's no chance he's going to beat Jason.
Oh, yeah.
It still is badass.
It almost goes on for too long. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's going on for too long, and apparently, I don't know how true this is, but those were mainly real punches. Kane was like, "Throw it on me," and the guy and the
Vincent
dude just went
Dupree,
for it.
yeah.
And some of the wording was different because if you talk to, I think Vincent, he's like, "Oh, they were all real punches," Well, I was just hitting them. My hands were actually really bloody and everything.
Yeah.
And then but then in an interview with Kane, he was like, "Well, all the body punches were real, at least," So
It was fun though to see, and that's kind of the fun thing about, especially documentaries, watching this stuff is how even though this was so long ago, these people still like relive it and they just glow. There's like, oh yeah, I remember that. Kane, this guy walking up to like, look, just go wail on me, and I'm sure it was fun while they were filming it. Like, come on, hit me, come on.
Yeah,
I don't feel anything. Let's make this. I'm sure they had a blast doing it.
Yeah, no, it's true.
That was my favorite death scene, I think, of this part 8, and Kane was even saying he was ready after he got hit so many times to just smash the dummies. It was a dummy. Vincent Dupree's head, it was a dummy, but he was ready just to smash his head off, and it landed perfectly in a dumpster, and then the lid closed, which is pretty funny too.
Yeah, well, I mean, on purpose it did that. They had 3 different heads they used. One head was the one he punched off. There was a lighter version that they threw up, and then a heavier version that came down and actually went into the dumpster. So,
and Vincent Dupree said they originally were going to do it in like Madison Square Garden, the boxing scene.
Yeah, I don't know how that
they
would
did it
work
on the roof of one of the buildings. But
I don't even know how some of these things got even like halfway approved, because I mean maybe they wrote them, but I know for sure that the producers and stuff were like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, Madison, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll have a boxing scene in Madison Square Garden. Then they're filming, hey, about that whole Madison Square Garden thing.
That's not going to happen.
No, we're going to just have you go up on the roof of this apartment complex and duke it out. Is that okay?
yeah,
in Vancouver.
we're out of money.
We were out of money 6 weeks ago. So I just sold my old Volkswagen Rabbit, for like $1,500. We got like 2 days left of shooting.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up.
So then they before they released it for the marketing, they were using those Jason slashing through the "I Love New York" posters, and they actually got threatened to be sued by, I don't know what it was, the New York Travel Commission or Tourism Board or something like that. So
Which is just stupid, because it's like nobody's taking this seriously. Like, oh my God, if they put this poster out, anybody who wants to travel and visit New York is going to be afraid that there's some 6'6" mutant hockey goalie out here trying to. No, I'd have more respect for them if they were just like, yeah, go with it. I don't care. Have fun.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's like this is hurting our tourism industry, but it's like someone's going to look at it and go, "Oh, we better not go there because that's actually a real poster, and they actually have killers there."
Yeah.
Well, they do.
Yeah, they do.
It just turns out the one on the poster is fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have actual real killers that do not look like that. Yeah.
So the whole thing was stupid. So they ended up having to take it down and redo the marketing, which to no avail because they actually this was the lowest grossing of the whole series. Did 14.3 million in the box office, which was just the lowest before was 19. We just talked about 19.2. So this one was the all-time low for the series.
The biggest upset of all of them. Yeah.
And this is ultimately where Paramount decided, and Frank Mancuso decided, we just don't want to. We're done with the Friday the 13th.
It was a sad day.
Yeah.
Because this is basically when when Paramount dropped it, it wasn't too long later the New Line picked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So.
Damn you, Robert Shea, you little you little genius.
You little genius.
But if it wasn't for Robert Shea picking it up, we wouldn't have had Freddy vs. Jason.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get into some of those obviously on the next episode, which we're still sort of so we technically have one episode to cover Jason left, and we'll do part 9, but then it's sort of like a toss up. Do we do Jason Goes to Hell? Do we do Freddy vs. Jason? Do we do Jason X? Do we do the Jason 2000 whatever 9 it was?
Well, have y'all seen the 09, like the remake with Jared Papalapodakis or whatever his name is?
You know what?
Supernatural.
I haven't seen it. I have not seen it.
Well, this is just my opinion. I'd say because what do we got left? You have 9. You have Goes to Hell.
Yep.
And you have Freddy vs. Jason.
Yep.
So I say just pick one out of those 3. I think it may be fun for you guys if you've never seen that movie.
Yeah.
To watch it. And then it would be like a really, it'd be you could basically have a real fresh image of something that's been remade. Yeah. And I personally liked it. I thought that it was really good.
Yeah.
You're talking about Freddy vs. Jason?
No, the 2009.
2009. Okay. Remake. Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I think Jason Goes to Hell. I didn't like it. The movie can go to hell, and it can burn. It can burn there for 1,000 years. But Freddy vs. Jason was a fantastic movie.
I remember seeing that.
No, I'm leaning towards. I own the movie. I'm leaning towards Freddy vs. Jason to sort of cap off our Freddy and Jason 2 months in a row.
Yeah.
And I think you got to do that one for sure.
What about part 9? Are we gonna do?
Part 9.
Yeah, we'll do part 9.
So we're gonna do 2 on the next episode.
Yeah.
Part 9 and probably Freddy vs. Jason. So just to top it all off.
You need to do a bonus episode then with you guys watching the 2009 remake. I really think I really think you guys would like it. I think they did real good justice to it, and the cinematography is just. I mean, it's a high budget movie. I mean, they spent like $21 million on it.
Damn.
Yeah.
And they put money into that movie, and it was part of the whole Michael Bay thing. Michael Bay was an executive producer on it.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll watch it for sure.
And was Kane Hodder in the 2009 or?
No, but the guy that plays Jason in 2009, he was a Jason fan his whole life. If you have a chance, I think toward the end of the documentary of Crystal Lake Memories, they have a whole big expose on the 2009 remake. And I mean, he even like went to Kane Hodder and was just gushing to meet him. You know what I mean? Like, this guy was a huge Jason fan, and he is like Kane Hodder. I mean, he's a monster. I mean, he's like 6'7".
Wow.
I mean, and he's he actually looks a lot like Scotty. He's like,
really?
He does. He's
nice.
He played in the Hills Have Eyes remake. He played the big, huge monster, like the big, muscly monster guy.
Oh yeah, okay.
And he plays Jason, and he does it. Oh, it's really is a badass movie.
Can I just say, side note on the Hills Have Eyes remake, like, obviously the MPAA doesn't care as much anymore because that fucking scene where he blows his head off with a shotgun is insane.
Yeah, that movie is.
That movie is like stomach churning. And then that's a remake, and the original had a lot of the same scenes in it, and it didn't get like dissected by the MPAA either.
Yeah.
I need to watch both of them again, back to back. Yeah, for sure, the badass.
But yeah, I'd go and just to do it, I would definitely recommend it. Y'all check out the 2009 reboot or remake. But I mean, they did just an absolute awesome job. It's funny, it's scary, and Jason is super athletic. He's not like a superhero. They kind of rebooted. He's just a guy, but they gave him the characteristics. He's fast, he's strong, he's accurate, but no, the whole movie is filmed kind of like it's like a vengeance story for Jason. Like, I mean, it's an awesome movie.
We'll check it out for sure.
Oh yeah,
so
we definitely will. Well,
yeah, that wraps up these two movies. Like I said, we got one more episode on this where we'll cover them next week, and then we're on to George Romero films for the month, and we'll pick out some good ones, the classics, of course.
Yes.
Well,
for the month of April.
That's
right.
Yeah,
you got to have Day of the Dead in there.
Day of the Dead.
Oh yeah,
and
we'll take requests.
Well, and then that brings back Tom Savini.
Yeah.
Yes, Savini back in the house.
God, he did some amazing practical effects in Day of the Dead. The scene where they tear the guy literally in two. That is so badass.
Yeah, we need to get in there. I'm excited for it. So.
Well, here's a big question for you. I know you're going to do it, but are you going to do like the original Night of the Living Dead from the 60s, or are you going to do the one that they redid with Tony Todd from 1991?
Dude, I think we have to do I'm a huge fan of the very original one, so I think we have to cover it.
Yeah, we'll probably cover the original. We might do
like
both
it too, but I love Tony Todd.
Yeah,
I just love Tony Todd.
It's a good remake, but I don't know, man. I love the original one. It's cool.
We might do both and compare them.
Yeah,
so
maybe so.
You never know.
We'll see what we can fit in,
or do both in one episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. I'm stoked about that. I couldn't remember what y'all were gonna do in April, so
yeah,
that's gonna be awesome.
Romero.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess that sort of wraps us up. Before we go, though, I did want to. I mean, Rob, I know you took some time last time. I don't know if you got something to plug or not. If you do, go ahead.
No, I mean, I've been kind of recording on and off and just bouncing around, but you can follow us at trying to think now. If you go to SoundCloud or iTunes, it's called And Then There Was Two. I have another podcast out, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Rob O'Neill for both, and Facebook Robert O'Neill. So if any of the fans out there want to follow and see what I'm up to, then go right ahead. I'll follow you back.
Cool. And I obviously this is the second time you've been on the show, and there'll be many more times. So we try to revisit with Rob at least once a month or so, just because it's a good dynamic and we like talking to you. So.
We both love horror movies. We all love the horror niche, and we all get big boners for the horror niche. So that's,
and each other.
Yeah, and each other. Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, no, I have both of your faces on the background of my iPhone. So
nice.
Oh, good.
Oh, hey,
yeah,
and you're on my phone as well.
If you could send me a clear up close shot of your ass crack, that'd be great.
Yes.
I got to shave first.
No. I don't.
He wants it to be hairy. He likes the hairy ass cracks.
It's like peanut butter stuck in shag carpet.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Because unlike you two, I don't check when I wipe. I just wipe.
Yeah.
So you don't look?
No, you just know.
No, you don't.
See, you and my fiance have something in common there.
You don't know. You don't know unless you look.
So you must have a bunch of dingleberries back there then, just hanging.
Well, I mean, they're not hurting anything.
No, you have to look. You have to look.
No, you don't. You could feel the clean.
Oh God!
And then it's like if you poop, right? Because like me, as soon as I cut the shower on, I have to shit.
Oh yeah.
So you don't even wipe. You just walk in the shower and just
Well, if you're doing it that way, but if you're not showering afterwards, I'm saying you gotta look.
Yeah.
No,
that was the one thing that was just disappointing about part 7 and part 8. There's no pooping scenes. What the hell?
Yeah. We had this string of scenes where they pooped without wiping and got killed.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, honestly, I like I said, no disrespect to Kane Hodder, but 7 was a good movie. 8 was bad. There was no pooping. There was no boobs.
No.
Yeah. What the heck?
No.
Gosh.
They really just absolutely dropped the ball, and
There was
no excuses.
Yeah, there's no excuses. There's one thing that I forgot to mention in part 8 when he gets out of the marina there or whatever in New York, and he sees the billboard of the Jason mask, and he does like the dog head turn. That was pretty cool. But I had to plug that. I put that in there really quick.
Well, what's really funny is like in the 2009 remake, the guy that plays Jason, that he does that kind of stuff.
Oh, nice.
He's always like it's like he's examining what he's about to do to somebody.
That's great stuff, man.
Well, yeah, we'll just wrap it up then. So,
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Check us out, cultclassichorror.com. And then, yeah, be sure to join us next week for the last episode of Friday the 13th month. And thanks for being on here, Rob.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, all the time, man. All the time, brother.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week.
Don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.